Today, I'm going to show you how to conduct free niche research on Etsy to find what's currently in demand and what sorts of niches to enter to get more sales. So first of all, go to etsy.com and then scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. And if you're selling in the US, so if that's your main target audience, make sure to have that selected right here for the region and US dollars as well for the currency, and then hit save. And then we can go back to the top and type in a very broad search term, something like funny t-shirt, for example. That's what I like to use as a starting off point on Etsy for my research. And then once you hit enter, you will see a bunch of funny t-shirt listings, of course. But how can we figure out what are some of the best sellers right now within this niche and what's in high demand at the current moment? Well, there's a quick trick for this. You can click on all filters right here and then select star seller from the sidebar. Now click show results. And then if you head into the search bar at the top and change your link right here from star seller to best seller, as I'm doing at the moment, and then hit enter, then as you can see, it's applied a new filter that now only shows you best sellers, meaning listings that have sold very, very frequently over the past 6 months. You can see all of the listings right here have either a bestseller badge or a popular now badge. So these are all hot sellers right now, and we can take an additional step as well and change this from sort by most relevant to newest as well. So now we've got some really good settings to start our research with. By the way, a quick side note, you might notice right here it says 1000 plus results. Obviously there's way more results for the search term funny t-shirt, and I actually know a free tool that will help you check the real number right here. Etsy doesn't display the actual real results anymore. They used to back in the day, but there is a tool that can help you out with this for free, which I'll go into in a little bit right here. But first of all, let's scroll through these results and look for new niche ideas. Whilst you're scrolling through, you also want to look out for patterns, by the way. So one thing I already noticed is there's a lot of shirts selling for dads at the moment, which makes sense because I'm recording this just a week or two ahead of Father's Day. So that's definitely a theme, a current trend that designs aimed at men or dads are selling very well. Now, if one design piques your interest and it's something new that you haven't seen, then just click on it right here. So retired under new management. This looks interesting. Let's click onto it and see what the actual listing page shows us, because there's some more indicators right here for demand. We can see the bestseller badge again in the top left corner. You also get some text if a design is selling very well or listing is selling well right here in red. So in this case, it says in demand, 11 people bought this in the last 24 hours. Sometimes it will say 20 plus people added this to their cart. That's also a good indicator for high demand. And then a few more things you can look at right here on the listing page. First of all, the number of reviews for this specific item. So in this case, it's 35, and I would say about 5 to 10% of people leave a review, if that. So in this case, you can be sure that this design has probably had at least 300 to 400 sales in total. So review count is always a good indicator for how well a shirt is selling as well. And then if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you also get the favorite count down here. In this case, we've got 244, which is pretty decent. Any listing with hundreds of favorites is again a sign that there's a lot of demand behind this, a lot of people looking at this and buying it, especially if you see thousands of favorites. That is a very hot seller. In this case, 200, I'm guessing that this is not a very old listing. That is probably only a few months old of that, and that's why it is in high demand, but the favorites are not as high yet. So there's definitely some signs for demand right here, but let's also check this for competition and kind of validate the niche as well. What you can do is use the primary keyword. In this case, it's retired grandpa shirt, and then type that into the search bar right here. So let's do retired grandpa shirt and hit enter. We can see right here our listing that we just looked at is ranking at the top, and if we scroll down, there is also a few more here with a best seller badge, which is definitely a good sign. Here's another one as well, another one. But let's actually get a feel for the search results and the competition, which still says 1000 plus, annoyingly. But if you have Everbee installed on your browser, then you can check the real search results even with the free plan. So you don't need to be signed up. You can just use the hobby plan, and there's a link in the description where you can add Everbee to your browser to help with your research even for free. Because what I'm going to do now is click on product analytics right here. Then it's going to load up the first page of results, which is 70, but you can click search entire database, and now it will give you the correct number. So we have 5,650 listings showing up on the retired grandpa shirt. That's quite a high number. It's not crazy competitive, like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of results. Like a niche like nurse shirt would probably be massive in comparison, but still 5,000 is quite competitive, I would say. What you can do as well right here with Everbee on the free plan is you can order the results by reviews. So let's see what the top listing has. Okay, 665 reviews, so definitely a lot of demand in this niche, a lot of sales volume. But at the same time, if we look at the listing age, a lot of these are very old and established. They've been around for multiple years, and there's not many listings that I can see that are fairly recent, that have popped up over the past few months or over the past year, and that are also doing well in terms of their review count. So this is definitely a niche with high demand, but if you want to sell in it organically without any advertisement, then you might struggle to get sales. If you're using Etsy ads to push a listing, then there is definitely potential here, because there is a lot of different listings that are selling really well. You can hover over them on the left hand side and get a quick glance at the designs right here that are selling within the retired grandpa niche. Now what I would do is just go back to an initial page of best sellers and keep scrolling through the results, looking for new ideas that catch my eye, and then I will take a further look into them to first of all validate them for demand and then check the competition as well. So let's keep scrolling. Sometimes you have to go through a few pages to find something new and interesting, but I think one phrase that stands out to me here is pregnant girl summer. I've not seen that before. It says popular now, and let's just click into this, see what the listing's like. So it's got the bestseller badge, meaning the item has had high sales volume over the past 6 months. We've got in 20 plus baskets. That's the maximum that Etsy shows you, by the way. You would never see in 30 plus baskets. So this could technically be in hundreds of baskets at the moment. So that's a good sign. And then we've got 53 reviews. So it's definitely had quite a lot of sales, this listing. And then if we scroll down all the way to the bottom, so this listing has 732 favorites, which is a lot higher than the previous one we found. That's also a good sign. So I think this has probably even more demand than the previous shirt that we found. And let's check the search terms. So pregnant girl summer shirt. Let's type that in at the top and hit search right here. Wow, there's a lot of designs with popular now and bestseller badges. See a lot more than in the previous niche, so that's a good thing. And let's also check the product analytics right here in Everbee, search entire database, and we only have 626 results in this case. That's really good. Let's order this by highest reviews as well. And good thing is, at first glance, there is quite a few listings right here that are either 1 year or younger in their listing age. We've got 13 months ranking at the top. We've got 2 months right here, 3 months. So yeah, there definitely seems to be quite a few listings doing well that are fairly recent. The top seller has 6,000 favorites, and it accumulated those in just 13 months. That shows you that a lot of people are looking for this and like this niche or this kind of phrase. So yeah, this is definitely one that looks very interesting to me. Seems to be doing really well right now, and the competition doesn't seem that bad. Speaking of competition, one more thing you can do with an Everbee is you can go to the keyword research tab right here and type in your keyword and then hit search, and then it's going to show you some additional stats such as the search volume, competition, and the keyword score. The score is essentially an indicator for how good this keyword is. The higher the number, the better. 80 is quite a decent score, and it's essentially a ratio between the search volume and the competition, because the more search volume, the lower the competition, the better a keyword is going to be. So you could also do something like pregnant girl shirt. Let's see how that scores. There the score is a bit less because there is more competition on that search term. And pregnant shirt is probably going to do, okay, similar keyword score right here. But yeah, keyword search, also a handy tab to check the keywords that you're going to use in your listing or the ones that you're going to target specifically. And another bonus tip I wanted to give you is the Etsy calculator right here. You can also use this in the free version of Everbee and essentially work out what your profit is going to be with your listings, how many fees Etsy is going to impose on you. All that stuff is quite confusing on the Etsy dashboard, but here you can get a feel for it whilst you're listing your designs. So let's say you're selling something for $29.99 and you're offering it with $3.99 shipping, and maybe you're giving your customers a 25% discount. Just as an example, the cost of the item, let's say it costs you $10.25 to print the item, and it costs you $5.99 to ship. You can also include things such as advertising costs. So if you're running Etsy ads, offsite ads, you can include that in this calculation. As you can see on the right, we now already have a summary, 28% net profit, the shipping costs, the fees are all included right here. You can see a breakdown of the initial price, the discount, shipping price as well, which comes to $26.48. That's what the customer would pay. That would be a total revenue. And then we've got the costs right here added up with the listing fees that Etsy has. And yeah, at the bottom, you're going to see your net profit, which is $7.28. Your profit margin in this example would be 27.49%. So yeah, quick, handy little profit calculator. If you're confused about all of the different Etsy fees and you're not sure how to price your items, then test this out, put in your figures and work out how you can reach a good profit margin. Personalized t-shirts are a very hot seller on Etsy, and there's actually a very easy way to sell these yourself. And if you want to learn how to do that, make sure to check out this video next.